Hello, my course creators. Welcome to another edition of the Course Creation Incubator. I'm Gina Amativia, your course coach and digital strategist, and I just wrapped up another amazing class of 6-week accelerators. And in the final weeks of the class, I got a lot of questions about what tools do I need to use to get my course done and to get it out to market. Now, I feel like this is an important question for me to answer because I felt a lot of pain around this when I first started out. Maybe 6 months into my online marketing career, when I first started building courses for other experts and entrepreneurs, I bought a very robust software for my landing pages and emails. It was actually recommended by a friend. And I tried to learn this software for months. I even hired a little help off of Upwork. And it was just not a fit for a course creation coach starting out. I was pulling my hair out every day. Now, it took me another 6 months to figure out that it wasn't right for me. And then I switched to many of the programs that I plan to talk about today. Now, I wish someone had taken my hand all of those years ago and said, Gina, this is not the right program for you. Well, that's why I'm here now, to help you avoid the mistakes that I made so many years ago. So today I thought, what if I could talk about my favorite tools, but also I could bring in my team's favorite tools? Because between the four of us, we're a powerhouse of planning, teching, and strategizing. I asked each of my team members, what are your top 2 favorite tools for course creators and why? Now, these are all tools that I use for my own business and I love. I can vouch for their effectiveness. And by the way, I will include all the links in the resources section of the show notes. So if you just want to sit back and listen and take it all in, you could check out the show notes later on for these resources. Now, 3 pieces to keep in mind before I start digging into these tools. 1, you don't need a lot, especially starting out. I want you to start small and build. Now, I've seen a lot of course creators who collect everything they can before even cracking a course outline. It's like getting into running. You know, I've been talking about running and tennis and trying on different things. You want to buy some decent running shoes, throw on some shorts and get running. You don't need to invest in all these crazy accessories until you build the habit and know where you're going. It's the same with software. Secondly, buy the software you need when you need it. I'm not a big proponent of, say, buying a course software 2 months before your course is even done. And trust me, I've seen way too many course creators have a platform that they've been paying month to month for, maybe even years, because they saw a promo on it, they saw a special, and they thought, oh, I've got to buy it up now. I want you to wait. And third and finally, buy what's right for your stage of business. That means tools that make sense for when you're just starting your list or building simple landing pages. Then, of course, you can always upgrade later on. All right, let's dive into those resources from my team and myself. First and foremost, I want you to get organized and set yourself up for success. So I asked Becky, my online business manager, what she recommends. Now, Becky's a planning wizard. If you haven't listened to our mid-year planning episode, go back and listen. I'll link to it in the show notes. You'll realize how amazing Becky is. She helped me through that entire process. She recommends Asana. This is a great tool for a lot of different parts of your business. As a business owner, if you're delegating, and hopefully you are delegating, even starting with a small team, it's a great way to see who's doing what and to make sure that everything is getting done. It helps the entire process work without team members needing to check in with you for next steps. They'll know what needs to be done, when and how, because it's inside of Asana, inside of those tasks. Also, when you're putting out your weekly content, which you know I want you to be putting out, say for your podcast or your videos, you can organize your workflows in Asana, delegate all the tasks related to producing each episode. Now, there are a ton of project management tools out there. I use Basecamp, for example, for another client. We use Asana on my team because it's very easy to use. I can track projects at a glance, I can assign tasks and organize different projects. Okay, second, Becky likes Google Spaces, Google Suite. This is a great way to organize the different materials you need for your course. It makes it very simple for each members of your team to find what they need to complete each task. And as you're starting out, it makes it very simple for you as well when you're organizing the different areas. I have folders that I use for every aspect, for every phase of course creation, and I organize it all as part of Google Docs. And we do a ton of collaboration, by the way. So for scripting, I'll send over to my director of content, Dejani, who then puts in suggested changes, or we'll create handouts in the separate folders. And then when it comes time to organize assets for a course build, we use Google Sheets to create a roadmap for our developers. Now, I couldn't run my business without Google Suite. It's critical to everything that we do. All right, then I checked in with my tech manager, Ivy. And Ivy, of course, rattled off a bunch of programs she loves. You gotta love tech managers. And then settled on 2 that she thought were best for this episode. Ivy says Kajabi is she said, beyond amazing. It's a godsend all in one platform. These are Ivy's words. You can build your entire course, your website, your lead magnets, your sales pages in a user-friendly place. Ivy says that Kajabi has very extensive support if you get stuck or don't know how to do something, and it's built for video courses, and I want you to put out a video course. 9.9 times out of 10, I want you building out a video course. Ivy says it's really a no-brainer if you want to sell an online video course. Now, I love Kajabi because of the beautiful templates that they provide and that it's so easy to use in the back end. I know how to navigate Kajabi. I know how to use all the little bells and whistles that they have, from the coupons and the offers that you can create to the welcome email and the sequences that you can put out. There's, in my opinion, no other course creation software that's as sophisticated and easy to use as Kajabi. That's why I'm a huge proponent of it. I also asked Ivy for the email software she recommends because there are so many choices out there. ActiveCampaign is affordable, easy to learn, and very powerful, says Ivy. It has the torque of a very expensive competitor and can handle a very small or a very large email list, which allows you to grow and not worry that you're too big for your britches. And Ivy says that the best part about ActiveCampaign are the automations, and I agree with her. You can build out a complex sales funnel system right inside ActiveCampaign so you can focus on your content and list building. Before I got to ActiveCampaign, I had tried 2 other software options, and they weren't a fit for me. One was too complicated, and funny enough, one was not savvy enough. I feel like ActiveCampaign is just right for where I am, and a lot of times a great fit for course creators just starting out. All right, let's move on to my content and social media director, Dejani. Now, I've talked about the love that Dejani has for Canva before, and I want to reinforce why it's such a great tool for you as a course creator. It's super easy to use. There's a lot of plug and play. It has presentation templates that you can use for your lesson slides. So you're developing your course, you're doing some slides with audio. Canva is a great way to create those slides. There's templates for every social media format that you can play with. And with the paid version, which Dejani does recommend because you get a ton more photos and templates. Now, Dejani's other pick is Planoly, Planoly, which helps you plan your Instagram posts. Now, Dejani's been really growing my Instagram, and I think she's been doing an amazing job, and Planoly is a tool that she uses to do that. She says you can use it to schedule and automatically post feed videos and photos for carousel posts and stories. IG doesn't allow anyone to auto-post these, so you can still schedule them, and the app will send you an alert when it's time to post. That's pretty cool, right? And then post just by tapping a few buttons. It allows cross-promotion between Facebook and even Pinterest. It gives you the best times to post. That's helpful. You can add placeholders to plan out your feed, and it just includes incredible insights. So I think that's just one of the tools that have helped Dejani really grow not only my Instagram, but for her other clients as well. Okay, finally, it's my turn. For list building, I gotta mention lead pages. Now, I mentioned Kajabi, which is great for landing pages and sales pages as well. I'm a big proponent of lead pages to build out your lead magnets. You could do your webinar or challenge registrations on there, event registrations. Everything you need is in lead pages. And with the drag and drop feature, it's so easy to build. I build pages in lead pages, and I am not very good with tech. I'll be the first to admit that. And one last thing about lead pages, one of the reasons I love this platform is because I believe they have the greatest support on earth. Their response time, if you contact chat, if you contact support, is super quick. Plus, what they'll do, if you have a design element that you can't figure out, which a lot of times happens for me, they will duplicate the page that you're working on. They'll record a video step by step of how to do it and then send it to you in what I think is record time. It's unbelievable, the support that they offer you. So that's another reason why I love Lead Pages. Now, for my final pick, well, I struggled with this because I wanted to share so many different kinds of software: Dropbox, ScreenFlow, Voxer. I use them all to build up my business and scale my business. But when I talk to my team, I realize the other software I can't live without is Slack. Now, I feel like this might not be a shocking choice for many of you. Since the pandemic, I feel like Slack has been given a lot of love. A lot more teams are on Slack. Now, my team isn't on email, we're on Slack. My clients and their teams aren't on email, we're on Slack. Because with Slack, you can message with your team in real time. It's like texting online if you're not familiar. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you know I want you to start your team sooner than later. So say you hire your tech manager or editor or a content person, you can get them on Slack right away so you can communicate quickly and efficiently. You can direct message with your closest team members and create channels about specific projects. We have a channel about building courses or whatever promotion we're doing or the podcast. And when I do calls and I'm on Slack with a team member, I call on Slack. There's no need to grab my cell. It's the greatest way to communicate, in my opinion. And the great part is you can start for free. If you're not on Slack already, it will change your life. All right. There's a roundup of our top 8 software from the Course Creation Boutique team. Again, I'll list all of those in the show notes. And if you have tools that you think are awesome for course creators, drop me a line on Instagram or Facebook at Course Creation Boutique. Please rate and review this episode, especially if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, and then subscribe. I would love to get the word out about this podcast so you and I can support the course creation community. Until next week, go create, be you and be brilliant, and get it done.